Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this month's Tech Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about picking finished goods from inventory to reduce our make quantity on job orders. Let's get started with today's tip. First, let me show you on the General tab of Job Entry. I have a job ID already entered and an order quantity of 100 finished good items for Boeing Incorporated. We are making a C5B brake assembly. Um, Also on the general tab, before we move over to the production tab where the bulk of this lesson is going to be, you can see that we have a customer PO number with a PO line number and a priority of 5 on this job. Also, the information being pulled in from the material master file is revision number A1 and drawing number 2972-01. So let's move over to the production quantity tab where we have the ability to calculate the quantity that must be made to fulfill this job. And of course, my make quantity right now is 100 in this gray field down here, which is going to match my order quantity currently. I can change this make quantity by entering different information into each one of these fields. And we're going to ultimately end up on the pick quantity field, which once again will be what this lesson is about today. Let's first start in the scrap percentage field. I have the ability to enter a scrap percentage here. I would type in the estimated percentage of the parts that will be scrapped on this job. So if I know on this C5B Galaxy brake assembly that for every 50 parts that I make, or let's say for every 100 parts that I make, I have a scrap percentage of 2. So 2 of them every time that I make 100 of them end up being scrapped. If I type in the number 2 in the scrap percentage field, hit my tab key, you see my make quantity went up to 102%. So I would need to make 102 of these, and the plan is to lose 2 of them to scrap to meet my order quantity of 100. I also have this extra quantity field right here, which is where I could type in the number of parts to make in addition to the order quantity. So let's say, for example, I wanted to add a quantity of 50 on this order to replenish my inventory. Notice when I typed in 50 and hit the tab key, I have a make quantity of 153 now, which is also calculating my scrap quantity. So I would send 100 off to my customer for the order, and 50 of those I would transfer into inventory in order to sell them later onto the same customer, or to replenish my inventory, or perhaps to sell them to another customer. So I'm just going to zero that out for a moment. I wanted to show you that the make quantity does change when I type in extra quantity. But really, the bulk of this lesson today is going to be on the pick quantity field. So currently, with a 2% scrap percentage on an order of quantity of 100, I have a make quantity of 102. I can click on the stock status icon right here, and I can view the status of this finished good items in inventory. So I'm going to click on this, and the stock status window is going to pop up, the dialog box. I'm going to see that I have a current on-hand quantity of 50 of these, and if I click on that hyperlink, it actually tells me that I have them in location B1 in my warehouse, and my on-hand quantity is 50. I have an in-production quantity of 100, which is actually coming from this job number 10218, the job I'm currently in. So I have 50 on hand currently. If I type in the pick quantity of 50 here and hit my tab key, watch my make quantity go down to 51, still including that scrap percentage. So I would need to make 50 of these at a scrap percentage of 2 and pick 50 from my inventory location in order to meet the order quantity of 100. All right, now that I have added that pick quantity on this job for that C5 brake assembly, a pick quantity of 50, I want to show you now what actually happens in the system when I add that as a pick requirement to the job. If I go over to the material tab of this job 10218, you're going to notice that I have material requirements on the job to make this item, hardware items, and maybe even some raw stock items. But that actual finished good pick requirement that I created on the production quantity tab doesn't actually show up on the material tab. I can, however, pick that finished good item to this job by either clicking on this icon right here with the pick material function, or I can go to material control pick material. If I click on this shopping cart icon, you'll see that it brings up the pick requirements for this job. And I can see here now that that finished good item of 50 is on the list here, and I can pick it from here to the job directly. Please keep in mind that when you do pick an item from finished goods inventory, or pick an item from inventory to a job, that the actual quantities and the actual valuation of that does apply to your work in process or that job right away as soon as you make that pick transaction. So all I would need to do now is go to pick quantity of 50 here and click on apply, and that's going to close this job pick requirement for that finished good item that I have in inventory that reduces my make quantity on my job by 50. Close that button there. That job requirement is closed. I can save this and I can move on with the rest of my picking of material. And that, my friends, is how you enter a pick quantity on the production quantity tab to lessen your make quantity on the job, therefore having to make less on this job in order to meet your order quantity of 100. Thanks a lot and have a great day.